Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's the day after I ended up in the emergency room getting my thumb all sutured up, and it's really sore today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a real simple project, something that doesn't require any heavy lifting, but something that needs to do. I'm going to unpack the bedroom closet in the master bedroom. There's still a few things to do, have to get unpacked, and there's a couple bins with like clothes and stuff like that. So I want to get that done. Might as well get the master bedroom wrapped up. Then, every time we check off one room off the list, that's just real closer we are to getting things done. So let's get going with that. So you may remember this when I was doing the walkthrough. I found this, whatever it was, that had some fruit in it, and we weren't able to figure out what it is. Well, I was out here this morning, and I found this thing. And I don't know, that looks like a pumpkin to me of some sort, but I have no idea still what that is. Some people have said it's some sort of a squash, and I don't know. If you have any idea what this is, definitely put it in the comments section, because I'd like to know. It definitely looks like it's ripe now. And I'm done with the water clarification now. The water looks beautiful. It's nice to be back in again, so yeah, all I gotta do is maintain it now, and that's shocking it and putting chlorine tablets in once a week. So I'll give it a couple weeks or so, and then we're gonna bring some more water down to Leslie's and let them test it and see what they think is going on. But it looks like we are definitely fixed here. So there's just a few things that need to be wrapped up in here. I want to deflate the inflatable mattress, put it back in the box. I got a few boxes here that need to be unloaded. We'll put some of the stuff into these cabinets here, which I haven't done a whole lot with. And then I have a couple bins in here full of clothing and stuff that I want to kind of get onto hangers and unpacked and ready to go in there. So yeah, this will be just kind of a simple job, but hopefully we'll get a lot of stuff done. And if we can get this room done, then that's all the better. That's just one more thing off the checklist. Alright, so a couple hours later, we got all the boxes unpacked here. Everything's looking pretty good. Got some stuff into the shelves, got some clothes into the drawers there. Still got do a little bit of work in the bathroom, but I got a whole bunch of the stuff into the closet here. And so this is good. Got a lot of the clothes consolidated, ready to go on that. All the fun stuff around here. I actually found something kind of interesting that was an interesting story I wanted to tell you about. It's this thing up here. Now this was something interesting that I found, that had kind of an interesting story I wanted to tell you. You may recall that I've mentioned in the past that many years ago I worked for a series of companies that manufactured compact discs. The first company that I worked for was a company called DMI, and they were in Anaheim, California. And one of our customers was an early movie sound audio company called DTS. You may have heard of DTS. DTS movies are big now all over the place. Well, the first DTS movie was Jurassic Park. And it was very interesting because what they did prior to that, this was still when they didn't have full digital video and digital audio like they have in movie theaters now. They still use traditional film, and with traditional film there was the film in the form of the film frames, and then there was also an audio track that was part of the film, and it was an optical audio track, and that was how the audio all worked at the time. Well, they decided they wanted to do something better, so rather than putting the audio on the audio track, they put time code on the audio track, and with the time code they would sync it up to the digital audio track, and they could play the digital audio back in sync with the movie. Well, the digital audio was actually which actually was delivered to the theater in the form of CD-ROMs, and we made the first DTS soundtrack discs. This is Jurassic Park, the stereo version, and then we also had Jurassic Park, the 6-track version, because what they do is you'd release it to different theaters, because some theaters were only stereo and other theaters had a surround sound version. So they released both versions, both the stereo and the and the 6-track audio for that, depending on, you know, how the theater wanted to do it. And that would go into a CD-ROM drive, and it would be synchronized to the film, and the audio would come off of this and play back in sync with the movie. And this, like I said, Jurassic Park was the first movie to ever do that, and we made the disc. And it was actually cool because I was really heavily involved in this because I was in charge of the CD-ROM department at the time. And these are basically CD-ROM discs here. So, and what was really cool about this is since this was a big experiment to see how it would work, I actually got invited up to Universal Studios in Hollywood and got to see the movie in a theater in the back lot of Universal Studios called the Hitchcock Room, which was, at least at the time, one of the best tuned audio rooms in the whole country to listen to watch a movie. And in fact, I got to see the movie on the final print right before, you know, they started making copies of it, in the very theater that Spielberg himself saw the movie the day after I saw it. So I actually saw the final product with these discs the day before Spielberg did. I thought that was cool. That was kind of a fun part of working at the CD factory. That was one of the reasons why I was always happiest at this particular company, because we always were playing with new things. You know, when I got into the big time and went over to Warner Brothers, it wasn't as much fun for me because at that point it was just a business. But you know, when I was at DMI, it was really fun because we always just loved to experiment and do new things. And this was one of those cases. And like I said, I just uncovered this when I was unpacking today, and I wanted to tell you the story about that because I thought that was kind of fun. So while I was doing this today, I noticed something interesting on this door going into the closet. There's actually hinges and the hinge pins on here. So at one point there was a door here, and I have no idea where the door went. So yeah, I don't know. It's not like it's really needed or anything. It's just, it's the mystery of the missing door. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I actually do see evidence that maybe this bathroom was an expansion. This may not be the original layout of the bathroom. I'm halfway thinking that, you know, this seam here in the ceiling looks like a patch job, and it looks like there's a patch job right here, kind of even with the door. So it looks like maybe there was a third bathroom in this house at one point, and maybe they blew out the wall of that and turned it into this massive master bathroom that I have now. So, you know, who knows? Maybe this door here actually ended up here, and maybe this is the door now. I don't know, but there isn't a spare door in this house, so I don't know where the door went. But I thought that was interesting. Yeah, so I had my first guest crash the gates here. Found this guy walking around in the kitchen here. Never know what you're gonna find in Texas. We caught him though. We'll let him go outside. He'll be much happier out there. Turn the light on so we can see what's going on out here. See if we can get him to come back out here. There he goes. Alright, so I know this was kind of a quick one today, but as you understand, you know, my hand was hurting a little bit and I didn't want to exert myself too much. But it is good that I got this done. I'm happy I got this part of the house unpacked, and we're ready to move on to the next thing tomorrow. So I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.